Can he deliver growth in every postcode?
I think this is the first time that we've ever seen a Prime Minister set out a radically revolutionary agenda for delivering for ordinary people. And this is a deliberate strategy to rewire the state to deliver for ordinary people.
Yeah, but if you look at Henry's criticisms...
and I think that the only way to deliver real good growth that is distributed fairly throughout the country is through a regional approach. We've been chasing the sugar rush of GDP growth for too long. We need to deliver growth that people can feel and people can see in their local communities in the place they call home.
So can you turn, I mean, he talks about good growth. Are you saying you can turn bad growth into good growth?
I think there's a growth that you can feel and see that's very concentrated in small pockets, particularly in Westminster or London. And I think there's a growth that delivers opportunity for ordinary people in ordinary places. And that is what he has set out in his speech this morning. Whether or not he can deliver on the rewiring of the state necessary to deliver economic growth for everyone is the next phase of the project and what we need to see.
Henry?
We're assuming here that devolution and the wiring of the state is the problem with the north of England. Now, there are lots of problems with the north of England's economy.
It's not just the north, it's parts of the south,
a lot of the regions. Fundamentally, most European countries, when we look at France or Germany, which have more equally distributed growth, none of them have a London in them at all, right? If there was a city like London in Germany, Germany would have a London problem, right? And London does generate an awful lot of the revenue. And this is another tension at the heart of fiscal devolution, because you can't do proper fiscal devolution and not do it for the southeast of England, the east of England, and the London, which are the 3 out of Britain's 12 regions, which are net contributors to the exchequer. Now, Andy Burnham has talked a bit about devolution to London. But what are you going to do if you're him? You've promised to stick within the fiscal rules. Your government, because of Rachel Reeves, is already borrowing up to the penny what it can borrow. You can't easily do without any revenue. The northern voters are not voting for you to cut spending, which means that you need to maintain those fiscal transfers. And yet you're somehow also going to do fiscal devolution to the bits of the country that are net contributors to the exchequer, which would then leave you with less revenue. I don't see how any of this adds up. And I think there's a reason that he didn't take any questions today.
Avnee?
I think that you can see from the crisis of trust in politics lately that people want to see change that they can see locally, and I think that this is the only way of delivering that. One of the things about local economies is they have local skills, they have local businesses, and those problems and delivering change to those people and money they can see in their pocket needs to be designed locally. He gets that, he understands that, and that's the way to set out a totemic vision for a country that needs change.
I mean, isn't the point, Henry, that he has delivered on his broad philosophy in Manchester in a way that George Osborne and Boris Johnson, with their versions of levelling up and the Northern Powerhouse, were never believable?
I mean, his version in Manchester is George Osborne's version. If you actually look at what's happened in Manchester, first of all, most of the really hard granular work was done by Sir Richard Leese. The mayoralty of Manchester does not have all that much executive power.
I think Howard Bernstein might
I'm not saying it has none, but it has. But an awful lot of that work was done by Richard. And look, don't get me wrong, I do think that there would be an awful lot of growth to be had if, like Manchester, the Labour government were to cast aside affordable housing requirements and just let developers crack on with building. That's entirely true. But the other thing that's central to the Manchester model is that it has been lent an awful lot of money by the national government at very good rates. Now, that's fine, but is he proposing to do that for everywhere? If so, where is that money coming from? And that is something that's not replicable at national level.
And how do you think the Conservatives will respond to the idea of a more consensus-driven politics?
Well, I mean, the consensus side of things is just not going to last very long. I think the comedy gold today was amazing when he said that I'm going to be more consensual, get rid of the whips, but my agenda is non-negotiable. That was a treat.
Thank you both very much indeed, Avnee Morjaria, Henry Hill. Thank you. That's it for this evening. We are back at